Hey everyone, Ramel here, and today I'll be doing a very quick video about how it's been like for me working remotely. I know a lot of people now have been put in a situation where they are having to work remote. This is something I've been doing for 5 years, so hopefully some of these tips or experiences from my end help you guys transition into working from home. Also, I do have a Discord channel now, or Discord server. So feel free to join if you guys just want to talk while you're working from home, all that stuff, or know when I'm streaming or making videos. But that's going to be linked down below, and don't forget to join if you want to chat. So I've been doing this for about 5 years now. I transitioned from office at Tradeshift to remote, and I was remote in Toronto and then moved to Vancouver, still remote. And like I said, at this new company, I'm also still remote. So it's about 5-ish years that I've been remote. I don't know how many times I've said remote, but this is a few tips and some stuff that I've learned along the way, and hopefully that helps you guys. Number one, I think it's important to have a nice dedicated space for where you're going to work, whether it's a separate room, just a corner on your dining table. But I would highly recommend not using your bed for this dedicated space. I'd really recommend being able to have some sort of desk that you can sit at. For me personally, I do need external monitors, so I have 2 monitors. Some people can get by with just 1 monitor, but having a desk gives you that flexibility to add monitors if you need. And speaking of desk, I think the next important thing is having a nice ergonomic chair. You don't really need to go all out, but I think having a chair that's better than your dining table chair is really going to benefit your back, your posture. Not now, maybe not in the next few years, but there are long-term effects of good and bad posture. And if you are having lower back issues now, then I don't think sitting on your dining room chair for 8 hours is going to be any help. I have a Herman Miller Aeron that I got for a pretty good deal used. So I would check Craigslist before everyone starts scooping up these chairs. The IKEA Marcus is also a relatively good chair, but that did give me lower back pain issues, which is why I upgraded to this Herman Miller anyways. But I think finding a chair that you can sit on for 8 hours a day is very, very important, especially if you're going to be working from home for this time frame of 2 weeks to 30 days. I think it might be expensive up front, but in the long run, it's definitely going to be worth it for your health and your back. The next thing for me is I like my keyboards and I like my mice, and I do use an ergonomic mouse. I'm going to be using the MX Master 3, and I do use my mechanical keyboards. Right now I'm using the AND Pro 2. It's not really as important, but for me, I just like having an ergonomic setup and a nice keyboard to type on. I have the same thing if I was going to be in the office, but if you are at home, take a look at getting a dedicated mouse and keyboard if you don't already have one, and make sure it's ergonomic. Besides the desk, the space, being able to have a routine where you can kind of separate home and work is very key. If you have some sort of ritual in the morning where you wake up, eat breakfast, take a shower, get dressed, commute, go to work, I would definitely try to replicate that while you're at home. As much as rolling out of bed and starting work is appealing, I think doing that for extended periods of time really hurts myself mentally. It does get pretty tiring, and it kind of everything just becomes a blur. And it's very hard to separate home from work, especially if you're just rolling out of bed. And I do like using that time to kind of tell myself that, hey, I'm going to start working. Let's get ready to work. And then kind of the same thing at the end of the day, where spend some time doing something not work related, and then transitioning into the evening. I know a lot of people, myself included, don't really have that transition regularly. Work really never ends, whether it's looking at PRs or just trying to fix this one extra bug. I have the habit of working well into the night if I have to, and it's not even just work if it's side projects and stuff. So it's not the best for me, I don't really have an evening routine. We do go for a walk every now and then with my wife and my daughter. But my morning, usually wake up, make breakfast, get ready, drop my wife to work. And then when I get back, I spend time with my daughter before she heads to her grandparents. And then after that, I start working. And I find that routine, I enjoy that routine. Before I also walk the dog, but now we do that in the evening. So just having any kind of routine, I think really helps. And on top of the routine, I think it's very important to be able to take breaks during the day. I know myself, I really get focused. I try my best to just sit down at this desk for 8 hours. But I have been trying to get better at taking breaks, whether it's just standing up, walking to the window, taking a look outside the window, and then walking back to my desk. I find that just gives me a little bit of a mental cool down. But most days I don't do that, and I find that I'm pretty exhausted and beat if I don't. So I do try to take a break every hour or two, just to give myself some time away from the space. Because if you have seen my setup video, I do use the same space for both my gaming and my work, and now I use it for streaming as well. So everything happens in this room. I spend I spent a lot of time in this room, but I do need to get better at taking more breaks. And in terms of work, I think the big thing is communication. Over communicating is going to be way better than under communicating. We have Slack, we have Hangouts, we have whatever your company uses for communication. Even if it's email, make sure to over communicate. I think being able to talk with your team every single day, keep them updated with what you're doing, and they'll keep you updated with what they're doing, and keep that communication open. I think that's going to be very important. I do my best to do that. Since I am a remote employee, that's something that I have gotten used to. And it's just being able to talk to anyone on the team, just message them, work or non-work related. I think it's important to be able to communicate, and without communicating, you're probably not going to get stuff done. At least for me, my team has a scrum every morning, so everyone goes in, we give our updates, and then off to the races for work. And during those meetings, I think it's also very important to turn on your webcam. I know a lot of people might not be comfortable with their webcam on, but I think it does really help keep it more personal, and you don't really just look at your laptop, you're looking at someone else. I do that for when I'm talking to my team, but when it's company-wide calls, I tend not to, because at that point there's just too many people. But if your team is very small, you can pretty much see everyone if your webcams are on in Hangouts anyways. So I think it's very important just to make sure that you do see that other person and the other person sees you. And also, pair programming is very easy with Slack, with the whole screen share. You can just share your screen, you can annotate the screen. That's something that's also very, very important, especially if you need help looking into issues or bugs. And I would highly recommend taking advantage of the Slack screen share. The other thing that I'm not or haven't gotten better at is whiteboarding. This is definitely something that isn't as easy to do, but now that everyone's remote, then we'll probably have to think of better strategies of how to whiteboard. I think the other thing is to make sure you eat, drink water, and make sure you have enough energy throughout the day to keep you going. I miss lunch every now and then because I usually have my head down focused, and that's definitely not good. I try my best to have some snacks every now and then as well, and to drink as much water as I can to stay hydrated. I mean, these are things that you would do in an office anyways, but sometimes it's easy for me to forget when I'm at home. But in the office, it's very easy to just, oh, hey, look, there's snacks there. But a lot of the times I don't see snacks, so I don't go for it. But I think it's very important to eat and make sure you have that energy throughout the day. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And if you guys just want to chat, feel free to hit my Discord. It's going to be linked below as well. I do have videos that I'm working on, and I promise that I will continue to upload videos. I'm not sure if I can stick to a 1 week. I'm gonna do my best to stick to 1 week, but I might be off every now and then until I can get back into the rhythm of things. But for now, I'm gonna do my best to stick to that schedule. And if I don't, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have a few mice reviews, a few keyboards, and yeah, I do have a new wheel. But anyways, I am out. I'll catch you guys online if everyone's working remote.